correct. You burn quick. I build respect, that chaos you push, that shit don't last. I outlive storms, you fade out fast.
I ain't holding back, every move I make got weight in that. You can feel that pressure when the bassline hit, like something in the room don't sit right quick. I don't rush, but I don't hold shit either. See how it is, I don't trust it up neither. If it hit wrong and it hit like that, I ain't here to fix it, I'ma stay them fast. You can feel that shit when I step in place. Whole energy change when I set that pace. I ain't loud, but the tone cut deep, like the room go quiet when I start to speak. I don't fake shit, I don't play that role. Everything I drop comes straight from the soul. You can feel that way when the low end drop, like something in your chest don't wanna stop. I ain't forcing nothing, I just let it ride. But it hit different when I'm on this side. Now you locked in deeper than you thought you get, and we ain't even close to the peak. Just don't worry, I'll feel the rise.
Feel that shit in your mind. Let it pull, take control. When it hit, lose your soul.
You feel that pressure
Creeping in, under your skin and settling. You try to fight it, but you know
once it locked,
it don't let go.
no way out. Don't pretend
You locked inside, it never
Walk, walking whole room, freeze, no noise, just breathe, just heat. I don't chase hype, I let that shit chase me. I don't move fast, I move correctly. Pressure heavy, you feel that shit, you don't hear me. You live in it under your skin, inside your chest, that quiet control. Yeah, I manifest. I don't talk loud, I don't perform. I let that silence change the form. Every step calculated slow, every move already known. You think it's random, that's that dumb shit before you move. I already done it, feel that tension. Don't ignore, that's the moment, you can't restore. No loud talk, no extra shit, just that pressure, you stuck in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you already in it. Closer, don't fight that fear.
Yo,
That pressure hit too fucking real.
say you are now.
You don't mean shit,
Once you lock,
you stuck in it.
feel it crawling in your chest.
Try to run but fail the test.
No way out, no escape.
You belong inside the cage.
Been a whole routine, baseline hit like it broke that fence. Don't slow down, I accelerate. Every move I make, set the tone in place. I don't play safe, don't fake that shit. Every bar I draw, I got weight in it. Feel that pressure when the low end hit. Whole damn room can't escape that shit. I don't fold, I don't bend, I don't miss. Every move locked in like this. You feel that build in your chest right now, like something in you tryna break right out. Fuck around and you stuck in the way. No way out when it hit this way. I don't chase, I replace the vibe. Whole damn room when I step inside. Feel that bass when it crack your frame. Nothing in here stay the same. Every second pull you deeper in, like the sound got control of your brain. I don't ease up, I don't let shit slide. Every move got pressure tied. Once it hit, yeah, it's already done. It's that shit you can't outrun.
Instead of lean, you don't feel it first. Then you recognize the weight of it, creeping up slow like it's been there all along. I don't rush shit, I let time prove you wrong. You keep reaching for control, but your grip too thin. I don't break form, I just close you in. Every option fade when I step across you. Don't see the shift till it already cost you. This ain't pressure, this is permanence. Once it land on you, there ain't no reversing it. I don't react, I remove the space. You try to run from it, I erase the place. You don't need change. When the mind locked tight, how to raise my hand, I just end the fight. You keep talking like it changed the end, but it don't mean shit when the line descend. You loud as fuck, but it don't mean power, bitch. You just noise in the system. I devour, I don't need rage, I don't need a stage. I try to let you stand in that cage you made.
Control like it's dead in stone, but I break that shit soon as I step in zone. You let it creep and slow. I kick the door, I quit. Turn that corner to brush in the chaos real quick. You don't rush it, I don't wait at all. I take that plan. I don't follow no path, I can laugh that land. You keep fucking control like it's yours to keep, but this my cage, motherfucker. You just stuck in me. You don't end shit, you just slow it down. I bring that way that make everything fucking drown. You say start locking, I rewrite that code. You hold that silence, I explode that mode. You let it build up, I detonate the bass. Turn that calm, little pressure into full collapse. We ain't running shit, you just hold the space. I step in one time and erase that place, yeah. Fuck that calm shit, fuck that quiet grip. I bring that energy that you can't resist. You call it control, I call it occasion. I built this bitch, now I like that game. No escape, no exit, no second, try one. Step in this motherfucker, you done inside. You can talk that shit, but it don't hold well. I run this whole system, I control this fate. Yeah, now who control it? Say that shit again. You don't run nothing, this is where it ends. This my cage, my rules, my space, my time. And that ain't changing anytime.
Escape, you're inside. Feel it crawl through your mind. Every breath ain't your own. Every step pull you down.
You still hear it?
Don't you lie. Even silence. Don't go quiet.
No way out.
Say goodbye.
You ain't leaving.
You just still locked in. For that way, heart slow down. Too damn late. You still trapped in that space. You don't leave, you just stay.
You still locked
In the cage.
Welcome. I hope you guys like that track. Spent a lot of time, Jesus, editing that and making it, and then having both two different artists come in at the same time. And it's actually kind of funny about Amy, but she was trying out for some like Glee, like I guess role, and they denied her. And I was just like, honey, you come in here right now. You just go right into that booth. Here, I'll give you some lyrics. You go ahead and you just sing. Exactly what you just did. And that's how I got Amy. It was actually really, really funny. But there's that. There's D. Corleone back in action. Hopefully you guys liked his ape appearance. And then we also have the final version of Go to Work, which will be played for you at the end of the show. Besides that and everything else that's going on, God, there's a lot, actually. Matt, how are you today? If Matt's alive. Might be. Hello. Yeah, so there's a lot going on. And a lot of it is kind of, I don't want to say hoopla, but I want to say hoopla. Well, just a little. Like, just with... I mean, could the Solana thing be great? Yes, but do I think it's an actual partnership? I think that they would already announced it.
I think it was just Solana using the AMC popularity and its ad for its own smart contract use as an example.
Because I mean,
but I don't know why the example that everybody has to use AMC lately seems to center around us lowering our ticket prices.
That I don't understand, because our whole plan is predicated on paying a premium for those premium seats.
And the plan's fucking working, so why would you? Now, I get the Monday, Tuesday, 50% off deal because that brings traffic in an otherwise stellar foot traffic market period through the week.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely worked out for, lesser income families who enjoy going to the movies but want that cheaper pricing value. But to take, just because it's raining, you're supposed to give 50%. I mean, my opinion is more people would probably want to go to the theaters in the summer when it's raining rather than be outside.
Yeah, that's when you go ahead and you have to get the best seats in the house because a million people are going to be there at the same time. That's how I look at it. I mean, you don't want
Right.
to sit there and not.
So then you had what, Austin L House or something like that, whatever guy at the fucking CinemaCon or whatever
Yeah.
that said about fucking lowering premiums. Like, you own a fucking private company, L House Premium Experience Theater, and you're telling AMC to why? Because you want AMC to burn its own revenue value so that you can compete better? I don't understand. You tell them to lower prices, which would defeat the competitive purpose of
course.
a value per ticket for your own sake. I don't get it. Are you trying to bankrupt the company so that, because I mean, I don't fucking know.
No, it doesn't make
But
sense. It doesn't make
I'll
sense.
say when these people actually own the biggest global theater in the world and actually spend the money for the premium format that AMC offers, and for the fucking the Prime Video and the 180 whatever full format screen and the system sound that they spend on the laser projectors, then they can fucking dictate what the fucking price of ticket sale should be. But until they're in that fucking situation, shut the fuck up.
I would agree 100%, because you're not going to, no outside market is going to dictate what AMC is going to charge to make their bottom line profitable. Just not. I don't care how much. Honestly, I want to pay for the experience. I mean, the laser, what's it called? The screens that are playing that direct laser footage from the camera. I mean, oh my God. Mario was awesome. Like, literally, Mario was awesome. I'm not going to lie. That was a great... the picture was clean. It wasn't choppy. There was no animation glitches. Like, I mean, it was flawless. I mean, honestly, I still think the first one was better than the second one, but that's just me. You know, did my nephews like it? Of course. You know, they got to see Princess. They got to see, Baby Bowser. They got to see all that stuff. I mean, they thought it was cool. And that's the only thing that I can enjoy more, is just seeing them happy. Now I'm happy I paid for the premium seats. And I was happy that I got to take Papa A to it, because that's his one time to kind of veg out and, eat some popcorn, watch a movie, kick back, relax, and he's happy. And that's all you could ever ask for. And that's all you want from the movie theater experience.
Does he bring his broom to the theater?
No, he doesn't bring his walking broom. He actually has got... Oh, so update on Papa A. Papa A is actually, like, walking. Like, I haven't seen my dad walk in probably 9 years. And he's, like, walking. Not with a walker. He has a cane. But that cane is only there just for preventative reasons. But, like, he's actually walking. Like, which, I mean... Holy shit, I haven't seen him walk, like, ever. Like I said, 9 years. So, I mean, that's a huge, huge step up for him. So, all of it is interesting. What I find really interesting, just besides the whole Solana deal, which isn't really a deal, it's more of a... Hey, he said this, and because of that could lead to this. I don't think so. Or else you would have seen...
It's all projecting. Could it be? Yeah. Will it be? Who fucking knows?
Who knows?
But as of right now, it's just them using AMC as an
example.
marketing tool for their own smart contract product. That's all it is.
Correct. And I think it's only... And like you were saying, everybody else is using AMC because the minute it gets mentioned is the minute that social media and the flocks start coming and start saying their pieces and what they think. Because AMC is such a big deal and it has such a huge fan base.
Which is just more proof that we haven't gone anywhere.
Exactly. And it keeps on staying that way. So you have that, and then you got what I don't understand is the talking personalities, the bobbleheads on like CNBC. I don't understand the ones that are on Twitter. I don't understand, you know, your point is basically proven to the point where why are you even here? Like, if you keep on bashing AMC and all that, why are you even here? Like, what's his name? We'll call him Baldylocks. Baldylocks. I like that name. But Baldylocks, which is, me and you have both made fun of him. He's both been our Dum Dum of the Week. What's his name? CJ something? Matt, do you remember?
You got me here for the moment.
You were the guy that you said, hey, I know something that you don't. You're bald.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember his name.
I mean, he's just the clown of Clown Town. But, I mean, this guy is sitting here and he's just bashing left and right and left and right and left and right. Like, why are you even here anymore? No one's listening to you. No one gives a rat's ass what you say. Because 100-year-old company has moved up from below $1 up, what, 78%, roughly, from an all-time low to now. I think it's like 75 or 78% total.
It's actually closer to 80. It's like 79.2 or something like that.
Okay, but still, I mean, you're up there, and on top of it, you are above the $1.50 average. You've been above that forever. So, regardless, it's everything that needed to happen for AMC to stay viable has happened. Everything. And Adam Aaron told you guys not to worry. Adam Aaron told you guys, don't worry, I got this. All Adam Aaron had to do was keep AMC alive.
All right. So, on that note, I want to add to that.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you were saying about the bottom to current,
Mm-hmm.
right, it was actually 79.569%
Okay.
of a move. And I did a post about this because I talked to you about this ratio math with F's.
Yeah, math.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Math. If you gain 74 cents from 93 cents to the price point of 167, it marks a 79.5% gain. If you lose that 74 cents from 167 to 93 cent price, it marks a 44.3% loss.
Mm-hmm.
If I ask you, if I marked a 44.3% loss but recovered 100% of my cost basis, where's the other 35.2% go?
Poof.
All right. Now, it's sort of a trick question in math because ratios are valued based on the value of the base rate that you're doing the ratio from as a source.
Mm-hmm.
The higher that number is, the lower the percent ratio you're going to get per the size equal size move. So
Agreed.
when they say, AMC has to go up 7,000 fucking whatever percent just to get to, $72 or whatever, right? It's a fallacy.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go from 72 to $2, you're losing 90%. But to go from $2 to 72, you have to gain 7,000%. No, you lose $70 or you gain $70 back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you take 90 and divide it by the 70-cent difference, right? 70 divided by 90 tells you it's about, or 70 divided by, what was I saying? $2. So yeah, 70-cent loss divided by 72 is a 98 whatever percent, right?
Mm-hmm.
98% gain on the dollar value would put you back to the 72 if you need 92 cents to get back to 70.
Mm-hmm.
Or $70
ratios
to get back to 72.
But it all goes back to the same adage, is that it's a ratio game.
Right. But it's also a price dynamics here.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of it, because they're factoring in math that just doesn't make sense.
Correct.
And,
So,
man, that's
another
math.
AMC basher, AA hater, holder, but like hoping for some kind of what he believes to be some kind of miracle and that whatever. I don't know what your fucking narrative is, but you don't bring. He replies to my post.
Mm-hmm.
He bought AMC in 2020 at $1.90 before the reverse split ever happened, and never bought another share since. That's not true, since people bought for years. But how many more percent is needed to recover your $1.90 before reverse split purchase price? Well, I could do the math, and I could tell him. And actually, I did the math, but I didn't reply to him because he's missing the whole point of my post about the percent value isn't the same as the dollar value. And a percent value from a higher base price becomes less of a percent on the downside than when you take the lower price and have to recoup the same spread difference on the upside from a lower base point. So when you're looking at ratios, you got to consider that there's actually a formula that finds the median base point loss return evaluation that's fair and equilibrium between the midpoint and the base and the top in a relative swing from a center point of loss to gain, gain to loss equalization. I don't know the formula. I'm not a fucking math genius.
Well, I'm not going to claim you as a math magician.
Said, because the math's not right, it's because this is the actual formula. And I'm like, yeah, well, I don't need the fucking formula. I just need people to understand that 7,000% or whatever is a fallacy based on simp math that people or that they know is wrong, but that they're weaponizing to make retail feel defeated. So anyhow, Billy.
Billy
at Spade 0444 replied this: if you bought, how many more percent is needed to recover? After giving consideration, deciding, you know what? I don't want to entertain that question. So I replied instead, nope, you're not going to bring that bullshit baby pants thread fucking rhetoric on my timeline. You have one day to delete that crybaby bullshit reply, or I'll block your dumb arse. I don't think.
Go ahead.
I didn't read your victim riddled timeline. Go fuck off and huddle your tears somewhere else. Bitch ass crybaby. Right? Well, apparently you didn't take the warning, so as I'm now here and it is today, I am going to go ahead and block his dumbass.
And block.
I don't need that. I fair warned you. And he said, oh, anytime anybody don't agree with you, right away you get blocked. No, I don't agree with you because you came to my timeline with that crying ass, bitch ass bullshit. I replied to you to take it down or you would be blocked because that's not the content I want in my threads, in my responses, in my timeline. You didn't, so now you're blocked. That's why. Not because I disagree with you, but because you didn't heed my warning or respect my opinions on the company and my investment and my CEO and my board. Boom. So no thank you. Fuck off.
Boom. You know what? It kind of leads into some of the bigger things that's going on government-wise and all the bullshit that's going on with that. But I have a funny clip about that.
I need another 8 billion.
Of course! Anything for you, old friend.
Bilbo. It was the right thing to do.
You sure you don't want more? I've got more.
Yeah.
No, for now this is good.
I mean, I have a lot more. A lot more.
No, I'll be back. Hey. So, I'm kinda underwater. Is there any way you could help me and my family get out?
Oh, I'm poor. I'm so poor. I just couldn't possibly afford it. Dad, are they gonna help us?
You're too poor?
In fact, if you could lend me some money, I was raised in a middle-class family.
You know what? I'll come back later.
Hello, can I get some money for the war with Iran?
Can you? He wants to know if he can have money. Boom!
Oh, hey, sorry, I forgot to grab my keys. Hold on a second. Wait, were you just... Who was that?
Who? Were they stealing my small pittance? Can you spare 2 dimes, please?
Me? You're blind now? Okay, I'm gonna see if there's someone who can help my family.
Arrest anyone who tries to help his family.
Kamala, hey, I have those millions of immigrants you wanted everywhere. You know this wasn't cheap. We had to...
Nothing going on here. Shut the fuck up. Oh, thank goodness. Come on out. Come on out. Come on out. Come on in. Come here. Come on out. Here, boy. Come here. Come here. Come here. To the swing states. Come on. Come here.
Here, bro.
Shoot! Shoot! There's plenty more where that came from. I'm out of money for real this time.
Oh, come on! You know what? You treating us this way is exactly why we voted for Trump in 2020.
No. You voting for Trump in 2020 is exactly why I'm treating you this way.
The reason for that particular cartoon is what's changed when you think about it money-wise. Like, our government is spending wildly again. We are in a position where you have even politicians like Robert Kennedy today, who, I don't know if anybody saw this post, but it was talking about the Titanic, and speaking of JP Morgan, was talking about JP Morgan specifically and how he avoided that boat just to be on a different boat to set up the Federal Reserve, which is basically the new club for the ultra elites that run the banking cabal. And saying how everything within the entire Titanic story was basically a fallacy to begin with, and this is the actual story. I found it interesting just because why all of a sudden we were told that we were supposed to get the truth. We were told that we were supposed to understand all of this. We were understood that this was going to be the opening your eyes to what is going on behind the scenes. That we're not going to be exposed to another power struggle. I'm going to read this just because I think it's important. Shocking exposure, the Titanic wasn't a tragedy. It was a mass execution to birth the Federal Reserve slave system. In 1912, the Rothschild banking cartel and their puppet, JP Morgan, needed to eliminate the final roadblocks to total control over America's money. 3 of the richest and most influential men on earth stood in their way. These men saw the scam, clearly and fiercely opposed the creation of the private central bank that would enslave generations. John Jacob Astor, wealthiest man abroad, strong Tesla supporters, outspoken critics of centralized banking tyranny, Benjamin Guggenheim, mining billionaire with massive influence, Isidore Stratus, Macy's Empire founder, another titan who refused to kneel. These 3 billionaires rejected the Federal Reserve Act, a sinister private cartel owned by the elites designed to print infinite fiat debt, finance endless wars, and profit from human misery and death. So the cabal set the trap. The unsinkable Titanic maiden voyage became the perfect hit. JP Morgan, who owned the White Star Line and financed the ship's construction, suddenly canceled his personal trip at the last moment. His friend, Milton Hershey, also backed out and went on to build his chocolate empire instead. Coincidence? The ship was pushed at full speed into a known iceberg field with only half of the required lifeboats. Even worse, Titanic featured experimental electromagnetic deck sealing technology, watertight doors that could lock passengers below decks like prisoners while the elites escaped. The outcome? Astor, Guggenheim, and Stratus perished in the icy Atlantic, opposition erased. Less than 2 years later, 1913 to 1914, the Federal Reserve Act is forced through under suspicious Christmas Eve conditions. A private banking cartel now controls the U.S. money supply, charges interest on debt conjured from nothing, and funds world wars, depressions, and endless inflation theft. The Rothschilds and Morgans didn't just get away with murder. They built the greatest financial enslavement machine in history. Wake up, the accident was a deliberate strike. The iceberg was the murder weapon. The Fed was the reward. Who else has to vanish before the next major power grab? And I thought that was very, very influential, and somebody that I appreciate him more than most politicians, just because he doesn't care what people
I can go
think
one
of him.
step deeper into that conspiracy, and that is the engineer that designed the Titanic knew that there were flaws in the design, and they forced him to go ahead with the build this and not fix the flaws because they were in a hurry to get the ship built.
I mean, I appreciate Robert Kennedy just for being brave enough to come out with that. Because the amount of shit that he probably got from it is huge. And the amount of shit that he'll continue to get just by speaking the truth is huge.
Yeah, there were a lot of red whistleblowers before that maiden voyage. From like everything from the lifeboats, everything from the speed that they were going before they hit the berg, everything from the engineer who designed the ship, who was whistleblowing his own work, saying that there needed to be some fixes to some problems within the blueprints and the design from a structural standpoint, which obviously helped aid the thing in the unsinkable ship in its sinking and snapping in half and stuff.
Of course.
Although no, any designs would have stopped that from happening when it was that keel up. But I mean, who knows? How many survivors actually know what happened?
I think it was 809.
That actually know, or were they just below deck and now trying to fucking get above deck and just trying to save?
I think it was 809 total survivors of 5,000. 809. And those were all 1%ers. They said women and children, but I know that it was just all 1%ers. That's the crazy part. Like the people that were living in the lower decks, like especially the middle class and the poor, like they were sealed in because the water had to flow above the first 5 compartments for it to sink. If it filled up the first 4 compartments, it wouldn't have sank. It would have made it to shore. But because it was 5, that's why it sank. It basically top heavied it into the water and then snapped in the middle.
Yeah, it snapped, which was one of the concerns of the
the
design,
engineering,
the
yeah.
architect design, was that the spine wasn't weak enough in the design, or wasn't strong enough in the design to hold the entire structural integrity.
But the point of me going over that is not because of the Titanic. It is because of the actual banking cabal. Because when you think about this honestly, and everything that's going on, which is really going to lead into kind of our dum-dums of the week, for the most part, are everything that the government's doing, everything that all these politicians are doing. I mean, here's crypto miners that are leaving the United States, going out of the country to just start their crypto mining. There's these, so innovation is leaving. You have people that are in office who are sitting there trying to help the banking cabal with getting them prepared for what is about to happen when it comes towards the crash. You have, Paul Volcker today. Oh, get ready for a bond crash. All of a sudden. You haven't spoken in.
A question about that.
Uh-huh.
Don't the Treasury kind of need the fucking bonds to crash in order to get a cheaper rollover rate?
Well, I mean, they would need to, but I mean, that rollover rate is kind of.
I meant less premium on the rollover.
It'd be less premium, but the rate itself wouldn't be. I don't think that would go down.
That would change. No.
Yeah, no. I mean, what Trump is trying to do with forcing the Federal Reserve to cut rates, I think that's because of that. But that doesn't do anything. That actually hurts more than it helps. He's just doing it from a real estate perspective, but that real estate perspective is, it's dead in the water. Over-evaluation is what's killing everything. And it's built up on fake numbers. And I mean fake.
Because it's got to be overvalued because the debt behind it isn't fake.
No. But that's the thing.
So collateral needs to support the debt that they built around everything.
Correct. But that's the crazy part about this. Is that, okay, you're going to have... we're going to talk about equities real quick. So let's just take NVIDIA, for example. You really think NVIDIA is honestly worth what it's worth? A chip that makes literally a company that makes chips is worth that when they're about 8 cents.
Aren't they pretty much at the pinnacle of their design anyway?
Yeah.
To the point to where there is really no forward gain of function value at this point.
Correct.
They're at the peak of their technical capability.
I know, but what capability have they sold? And who has bought? Because they've worked out for the premise of Bank A sells to Bank B, and Bank B sells to Bank D, and D sells back to A, and
all the big players bought them, and now they're leasing them out to the smaller players, and
yeah, and there's nobody that officially actually bought it.
And once the smaller players are no longer in the market for them and are defunct and weeded out, and they return to leases, then there's going to be an oversupply of these NVIDIA chips all over the place with no business backing to need them.
I have to read this because Hayden, actually, you make a great point, Hayden, and I'll explain this here in a second. James, don't you think that the Iran issue is allowing the Fed to print money to the banks so the inflation doesn't necessarily go up and they can keep the market up? That money, that $40 billion, just got injected into the markets today. Listen, there is no such thing as your Federal Reserve that's going to go ahead and inject, $4, $8, $12 billion into a market. That doesn't do shit for what is actually in the market. You're talking about a $41 trillion difference.
No, that's just a defense. That's just the defense companies getting their cut in the war funding to prop up the 1% stock ownership in that.
Correct, but
In those funds, but
the $40 billion
market wide, that ain't changing the market.
No, but the $40 billion that I got.
How about the 2.3 trillion over the period that he's talking about injecting into the market?
That's a different story, but that's a different story. But the 40 billion for a morning to go ahead and all of a sudden here's the SPY that hits an all-time high today. That I can see. But not a 5, not a 7, not a 9 or a 12. Not even 15 is going to make that big of a difference. 40, sure. You may have had an inkling where the S&P went up a little bit. But listen, it didn't go up crazy.
Rates affect the market far more than the dollar money monetization that the Fed can do.
Correct. And on top of that, we're talking about additional fake liquidity. We're not talking about real liquidity here. This is so pumped up with fake money that it's just, you don't know what's real and what's fake. You have no idea. And it's literally fake upon fake upon fake. And they just keep on pumping it full of more fake. Why? Because that's what they do to inflate bubbles. That's how they get your overvaluation. That's how you go ahead and you're sitting there on a market that is dying for real liquidity. So this way you can actually have hedge funds, family offices, actually be able to exit positions. Or else they can't. Listen, they can't exit positions off of fake liquidity. They need somebody with actual capital to take over that position.
And that's where the private credit comes in.
Correct. And that's where this whole big ass bubble is.
I want to just to add to the private credit aspect of liquidity. That's why they enabled pension funds and IRAs and retail, institutionally controlled funds to invest in private credit because they needed a liquidity source in order to exit their exposure.
Correct. But on top of that, that actually leads to my favorite segment, Dum Dum of the Week.
For what? He brought his own title for this. That's not a good sign. You understand why you're here? Yeah, I earned it. He really believes that. That's the problem. Then let's make it official. I'm ready. For what? He brought his own title. That's this. You understand why you're a good sign? Yeah, I earned it. He really believes that. This is earned. No. Craig, you don't.
He doesn't?
This is not random. This is earned. Then this. Then this is official. This is earned. I know. No, you don't. I'm ready. For what? He brought his own title. That's not a good sign. You understand why you're here? Yeah, I really believe that. I earned it. That's the problem. Then let's make it official. That's a good one. You've got to be kidding me.
He pressed it. I meant to. That's what the dad sees that. Are you even listening to me?
Are you listening to me?
Errol. You're too dumb to argue.
That's your victory song. You keep yelling that you're right while we all sing along. I'm so dumb, king of Clown Town, cloud paper crown on your head.
Train breathe. I'm a dumb ass shill on XX. Oh, here, hey, here.
We read your tweet out loud on
That's not a joke? No. You chose that on purpose. Yeah, it's honest. Walk me through the decision. It was the best version of that. He printed it. I wanted people to know where I signed it. And this, he believes it. That's the strongest part. I do. I earned this. No, you didn't. He thinks he did. This is why you're here.
All right, sorry about that, but here, hopefully my volume is fixed a little bit better than it was before. But Dum Dum of the Week, Matt, I'm gonna give you the honors. You can go first.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right, but before everybody gets their panties in a bunch over who I'm putting up here, right? Let me say, while I agree with his physical silver takes, and I enjoyed his spaces up until last night, I'm not gonna just look the other way because I respect his silver angle, right? I am gonna call out bullshit when I see it, and I'm gonna defend the honor of myself and my fellow fucking meat basket retail fucking quote unquote ape army dumb retail position. Because what he did last night in his space call, if you're in it, you know who I'm talking about. And I'll just say it, silver dagging. He does spaces all the time. He's all about physical silver, not paper. He's a stacker. He's got a great panel usually, got a great community. It comes in there very informative, knows his sector, which is exactly why he should stay in his own fucking lane. Because I was scrolling through the fucking space last night and I was like, oh, there's an AMC, there's an AMC, there's a GME, there's an MMTLP, there's an Ape, there's somebody in my circle, right? All over, all up and down the fucking page. But then we all sit there and listen in his space while he rants about how retail should just stack silver and forget everything else. Don't enter mining companies. Don't buy meme stocks. AMC's a bunch of fucking clowns, and they're all just fucking FOMO buying in the top and then become a fucking bag holding community, and they're laughing at us.
That ain't
while
right.
doing this. I'm sorry, but you're a fucking host who is retail heavy in his participation. And there is absolutely zero reason for you to step outside of your lane and then make fun of the very people that you depend on to support your movement. Because let me tell you something, the AMC investors, the GME investors, a lot of the MMTLP investors that I speak to and I'm around are Highcroft investors, are silver buyers, bought the Highcroft fucking rounds, right? Go into your space to learn about silver. And while it is a great inflationary hedge, it is just as susceptible as the meme stock, AMC, MMTLP, GameStop, because even you and your precious physical silver is not free from the grasp of the oligarchy power's hand, stripping that right from you. And if you don't believe it, just go back a little while back when China told retail, sorry, we're not going to buy any of your silver, even though it was supposed to be your store of value in a crisis, and you need the money right now because our economy's shit. But we can buy silver cheaper in the U.S., and our silver here is way too expensive, and we're not going to give you that money, that money for it when we can get. And meanwhile, in the U.S., everybody was fucking up in arms trying to get fucking physical delivery, having to wait 60, 90, 30 days to get physical delivery. But at the same time, China's shipping tons of our fucking silver out of our fucking Western mines into its own fucking coffers while telling its own people, sorry, we're not buying it from you today. So don't sit there and act like we're a bunch of fucking retards laughing at us, telling us that we're going to be the next bird FOMO buyer or the next 10 to follow up on that, and that the fucking $25,000 day trade, requirement rule is just a fucking a way for them to fucking get the retarded apes money out of them, and that we don't understand the psyop against us, or that we think that we can beat Citadel, and that's fucking laughable, and that we should just fucking buy your physical silver and help you in your fucking market but we're too fucking dumb to do anything else or understand anything else. Go fuck your arrogant ass. Fuck you, and I will no longer be in them spaces. That's my dumb of the week, because that's not how you treat your community.
Well deserved, my friend. Well deserved for going ahead and just protecting what you believe. That's 100% what it was. You protected what you believed. My dumb of the week starts off with a funny clip.
Thank you, Mr. President, for the question. Deliberate attacks on civilian infrastructure violate the Geneva Conventions and international law.
Who are you with?
I'm with the New York Times. Zolan from the New York Times. Are you
failing?
Are you concerned?
Circulation way down at the New York Times.
Are you concerned that your threat to bomb power plants and bridges amount to
No, not at all. No, not. I hope I don't have to do it. But again, I just said 47 years they've been negotiating with these people. They're great negotiators. And because they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. And if somebody that takes my place someday is weak and ineffective, which
Thank you, Mr. President, for the question. Deliberate attacks on civilian infrastructure.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President, for the question. Deliberate attacks on civilian infrastructure violate the Geneva Conventions and international law.
Who are you with?
I'm with the New York Times. From the New York Times. Are you
failing? Are you circulation way down at the New York Times?
Are you concerned that your threat to bomb power plants and bridges amount